Okay, let me show you how the BeSavvy knowledge extraction partner prompt works. So all I did is to actually paste this prompt into my Claude, and I transformed the regular chat into the knowledge extraction partner. So let's see how it works. So it explains what it actually does. It's a structured knowledge interview. The goal is to understand how you think and what you know, and so that expertise can be turned into practical training. This is good. How much time is going to be spent, what you'll get at the end. Good. Before we start, I want to decide how much time I'm going to spend, so we can do a brief session or a deeper session. So let's go for a brief session this time. Yeah, so I recommend using probably the most powerful model you have, because the dialogue can become pretty vast and we need to make sure that none of the context is lost, but I think Sonnet can do it as well. As you can see, we always show you at what stage we are. So we want to spend only 15 minutes, and you see that we are at phase 1. We are developing the context of our discussion, and there will be 4 questions. So it is done for you to know where we are, and to expect how much time you will have to spend to actually extract all the necessary knowledge to build a simulation. So per 15 it is. We go on. We explain that we are looking for transferable patterns and principles, not client-specific details. Yes, this is very important. It sees that I'm using Claude AI, a public AI tool, so it asks me to treat the information with more caution. If it can also detect that we're inside a corporate solution, and then it will expect you to be, allow you to be more sincere about the client projects and using the client names and so on and so forth. So let's go on with the interview. What area of law do you work in? Let's say I work in M&A. So this system is designed for lawyers, so it's not designed for L&D people, for knowledge management people. It is designed for lawyers to actually help them extract all the necessary information about to extract their knowledge about a particular deal, so that this knowledge can be used in order to build a simulation. So as simple as that. So M&As, which territory, which jurisdiction do you primarily operate in, and are your deals mostly domestic, cross-border, or mix? So I operate in England, and these are domestic deals. What seniority at the juniors you typically supervise? Let's say I supervise trainees and newly qualified lawyers. Yes, last one for this section. Roughly how large is your team, and what's your typical deal size or type? For example, private acquisitions. Yeah, I work in private acquisitions, and my team is just 10 people. So yeah, after each phase is finished, it checks all the information we have collected, and then proceeds to the next one. So what do trainees and newly qualified lawyers on your team consistently get wrong or need the most guidance on? So the job here is to actually not to go, the goal here is not to write a textbook. The goal is to actually understand what is happening inside the law firm, where mistakes are made, where painful mistakes are causing problems for both lawyers and their clients, and then resolve these problems through building effective, efficient, powerful, interesting simulations. So what I would do here is I would just say that it's a bad idea to use voice. It would be just easier to share more through voice. So I'll say, so the biggest, The biggest problems, I think, when training trainees and newly qualified lawyers is to actually explain to them the commercial information about the deal. So they usually focus too much on the legal aspects and they don't listen enough to the client to understand why they conduct this M&A, what are their goals, what are their fears, what is their business understanding of the outcomes of this particular deal. I think that when lawyers spend more time studying the commercial aspects of the deal, they can come up with better legal strategies and as a result design better legal solutions for their clients. Okay, good. I want to make sure. And as you can see, it actually tries to go deeper. So it sees that I've started speaking about the commercial aspects, but I haven't shared any personal stories. I haven't shared what is important here. So it actually wants me to understand, to share what can go wrong. And it wants me to share my personal stories. So a specific moment. Okay, let me come up with something. So a great example is when, for example, trainee starts a project and they need to decide on the deal structure, schedule, and asset deal, and they only speak and think about the legal aspects of choosing between these two types of deals. But it's important to understand what is the goal that the client is pursuing, and they never pursue a legal goal. They pursue a business goal. They either want to get some kind of an asset without any other problems or risks, or they found a great business. They found a great business model, and they think that the synergy between their business and this business can be great. That's why they want to integrate everything inside this business: their employees, their technical solutions, their logistics, their existing clientele into their own business. And I think, and I see so many times junior lawyers not paying attention to this, and as a result, not providing a good service to their clients. And I really want to build a simulation that can actually focus on this problem, showcase what is happening if they miss this commercial aspect, and as a result, provide them this experience so that they become better at their job, better at M&A deals. Okay, the example is brilliant, of course. Okay, and one more question before we wrap up. When you sit down with the client at the start of the deal, how do you personally draw out that commercial understanding? How would you ask them or listen for them? So whenever I sit with the client, I always start with asking them about their business. What is driving revenue at the moment? Why have they decided to go through this project? What are their goals? How do they think this particular deal can benefit? This particular benefit can improve the situation in their business? I think that when asked these questions, the client can actually feel that we are on the same page, that I am not just a legal counsel, I'm a business counsel. I'm interested in making their business work better, not just on drafting the contract. And as a result, they share a lot of important points that actually help me to draft better documents. I always make sure that I put everything down and then use this as a guiding tool when drafting. Okay, so we got to the point that I have actually shared my personal framework. So we started at a very high level, me just saying that, okay, juniors need to care more about the client and their business needs. And we finished with me sharing how I am actually communicating with my client, what is my framework, what I pay attention to. And this is exactly the information we would like to extract during this session, because this is what's important, and this what makes a simulation not a generic training exercise, but actually a chance to share very unique, very personal experiences of a senior lawyer with their junior colleagues, and thus help them become better at their job much faster than previously. So, okay, revenue drive. So, do it. Yeah? If I put the report together, is there anything important we haven't touched on that you would like to include? So if I want to share something beyond this topic, I can continue, but this time I'll say, okay, generate the report. So it will now take our whole discussion and will turn it into something that I can easily fit into my simulation building agent, and it will create a very high quality simulation based on this report. So it actually took me around 10 minutes to share something. So obviously this is just a very generic example I gave, and I think that professional lawyers can share much more, but they can spend maybe 20, maybe 30 minutes sharing their stories, sharing their pain points, share their experience of training lawyers. And you see how easy it is, because the system actually helps you think through the process, find the right problems and solve it. Okay, we now have the report, we have some practice profile which will be important for the simulation building agent. Then we have the skills and knowledge, and it has come out, and it's actually a mix of what I said and what the AI also found. So we start with some generic knowledge that the lawyers need to have in order to complete the simulation, and it suggests some standard frameworks like Porter's 5 forces, energy analysis, and risk-adjusted return model. Okay, some good ideas. Then we get to the firm-specific knowledge, so something I learned, the system learned from the lawyer. So, okay, this is the firm-specific knowledge, the commercial brief is the written down, okay. Then we have different sections devoted to different types of skills that need to be developed throughout the simulation. So the hard skills, the business model, understanding how deal structures map into commercial outcomes, knowledge of when to ask for. Soft skills, active listening, asking open questions, commercial awareness, team and management, okay, and tax skills, non-specific at this topic. Then this is topic number 1, commercial understanding. Topic number 2, deal structure. It also has added some ideas that I missed, so I can now make changes to the report and remove some ideas, or I can just say that that's okay, we can really provide more information inside the simulation. Okay, it considers share deal, asset deal, generic knowledge, so yeah, nothing very complicated here. And firm-specific knowledge, the most interesting part. Okay. Synergy analysis he just got it from me speaking about this. Okay. Okay. And then we have section 3, simulation recommendations. So it suggests that we have 2 simulations devoted to this topic. Simulation number 1 will be about understanding the client, commercial listening and M&A. It suggests that we have 4 different tasks, such as communication with the client, then identifying what critical information is still missing and what questions to ask next. Then we draft a short commercial summary note based on the client conversation, and then the learner maps it to an initial structure. So it is all about preparing for the project. And simulation number 2, choosing the right deal structure. It again suggests that we start with problem solving, mental health case study. We work through key commercial and legal factors to determine the appropriate structure, and then we actually compare the structures and decide which one is the best. Then we have a role play, we explain the structure to the client, and then we actually redraft a generic structure recommendation letter that gets the legal analysis. Okay, so these are just some ideas. I think the simulator building agent can come up with something more exciting, something more interesting, but this is a good start. And this is exactly what we have, what we got through talking to the lawyer. So all of this knowledge extracting task took me like 15 minutes. I think in real circumstances it would be like 30, maybe 40 minutes. But in 30 to 40 minutes, an experienced lawyer can share enough information for us to actually build, I think, up to 8-10 chapters of a simulation, which already can make a huge difference to how training is completed. So getting knowledge is not that difficult when you have a knowledge extraction partner, and I hope that this approach will make it much easier for lawyers to share their experience and create powerful and engaging simulations.